Hey folks, Ryan for the VR Grid here, and today we're taking a side-by-side look at Skydance's Behemoth for the PC and PSVR 2, and for the PC side, I ran the thing on ultra settings, so it's a pretty fair comparison. This is the opening section here. Honestly, the comparisons in these side-by-sides are pretty minimal. The game is fairly close across both versions. Now, playing with the Quest 3 on PC side of things, I did experience much more clarity. The game did just look visually just more clear. This is one of my favorite moments in the game, is when the clouds disappear and you see that distant background. It looks slick on both versions. You'll see on the PSVR 2 side, it's a bit darker. I did actually find it to be a little bit darker at the default settings in the headset, but it's not as dark as this video showcases, which I think is due to the HDR conversion or lack thereof. So if you think it's darker, it is, but not as much as this video highlights. Now you'll see those background visuals, the mountains especially. For the most part, they're intact, but every now and then you'll see some moments where like the rock faces are different. I can't explain why. There's a moment here, if you look down the cliffs, you'll see one. It's very on point. I will say that the brighter visuals on the Quest version and the PC version really, they kind of make the game look a little more like a game, for lack of a better term. Whereas I found the hues on the PSVR 2 side in the headset anyways to look a little more natural. You'll see it here as well, the climbing points on the ridges here. They just stand out more on the PC side, and it's just that I'm not quite sure why the developers chose to do that. But here we are. Once again though, super minor differences, nothing to really complain too much about. Honestly, in doing this side by side, I found it very hard to find too much in the way of difference. Character models all look nearly identical. Lighting effects are the same. It really is the same game, except if you have a better headset. On the PC side, you do get that extra, clarity bonus, and you can adjust those settings to even make the game look clearer further. Whereas on the PSVR side, what you lack in that, that clarity in the headset is made up for by the haptics. And I will say that on the PSVR 2, it is running at 90 frames native. There's no reprojection. And obviously on the PC, it's more dynamic. Now you will see some frame stuttering on the PC side of things for this gameplay. My PC was pushing to get it to run at Ultra, and for the most part, it did run fine. But you will see the occasional frame skip. That's probably my fault, not the game's. A few more side looks here. Just some general looks at the environment. Like I say, for the most part, it's the same. But you will see occasionally, pause and have a look and see what you see. But there are cliff sides that look subtly different. Once again, not sure why, but behaviorally wise, especially after the day one patch, the game seemed to be pretty much in line. I mean, there's still a few glitches and stuff you'll see in this video as well. But for the most part, like I said, it's the same game. Combat feels good. Is it perfect? I mean, it's all right. Here's your first look at the kind of the Behemoth fully. And you do kind of notice the crags and the divots and the rocks a lot more on the PC side. Not a lot more, a little bit more, but they are there. And like I said, I think that just comes down to the clarity of the PC version. But in comparing just about any one frame in this, you'd be hard pressed to find differences, which I think is a testament to the power of the PSVR 2. And at the same time, maybe being developed for the Quest 2 and 3 as well, so it's not quite maximized the way it could be. That being said, I think it's a very pretty game. On whatever headset you play this on, but especially on PSVR 2 and PC. See the glitch in the PSVR 2 side there where my sword got stuck in my shield? I was able to repeat that again as well. And there's another glitch in the PC side later, so it's, we're trying to be fair here. We'll fight this dude. You'll notice, like I said, I mentioned the PSVR 2 side's darker. Look at the shadows in this scene specifically. They are darker, and there are some dynamic, I wouldn't say dynamic, but they're the shadows underneath the people. Actually, it's not just like circles. They will actually match the movements of the beings in question, but they're really faint, almost like hard to notice at times. And I kind of wish they would amp that up a little bit, just to make it look a little bit more natural, because you can see it barely, but it's just barely there. And it's stark contrast to the environmental shadows, which are everywhere. Now here's a quick look at the close-up textures of the walls. And once you see they're on point, you can see the ocean side as well. Like, it looks very similar. I thought there was a little bit more happening in the water on the PC side of things, just ripples and whatnot. But minor once again. Crushing some skulls. And we'll get to the indoor portion of this here right away. So once inside, it's, once again, super comparable. I didn't notice much. Something to pay attention to, and I'll showcase it a bit later, is the lighting effects from like light sources, specifically flame. They look good. The enemies will react, like the light will reflect across your weapons and blades, across enemies. But something that's funny is the flames, like how they flicker. It's something I saw in Metro that I was really impressed by with the lighting effects, where as the flames dance, the lighting also dances with it. Whereas in this game, the light sources do kind of act as almost like static light sources, where they'll light up what's near them, and it looks great. But if you actually pause it and watch the flame flicker, that same flickering doesn't happen on the environment, and that's across any version of the game. Not like a game-breaking thing or nothing, just something I kind of noticed just after recently being impressed by that in Metro Awakening. Here's your first battle with like I call her the Night Sister. I can't remember her name now. You can kind of cheese the battle system. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't hate it, but they do give you kind of the strength ability, which can let you power through opponents. It's there, but it kind of undoes. There's a little glitch here with the on the PC side. There, guys doing the moonwalk. I laughed when I saw that, so I put it in here just as well, just to kind of show that the game still has a few bugs, but the devs are working on it, and I expect so. Here goes. Here's the example of the light flickering and how it's just lighting up his armor without any kind of more subtle lighting effects. A minor complaint, I know. So here now we're going to be approaching, I believe, the first Behemoth. And once again, everything's on point here. You notice the textures on the PC side look a little bit more vibrant. I did find that to be in the headset, but it's almost like a choice. Like they almost chose to dumb it down for the PSVR 2 version. Not dumb it down, just make it like a little bit less vibrant. And that could be due to the HDR as well. Like, I mean, who knows? But everything else is, all the grass is here, all the environmental stuff is here. It looks great. And I guess kind of the point of this video really was to showcase just how similar these versions are, not how different. And I think that's the biggest takeaway, is no matter which headset you buy this for, assuming you're down for the gameplay and the linear campaign, you're going to have a good time if you know what you're getting. Something I didn't mention too, you'll see it across these videos, is there's like a white dot that will show up and kind of drift across the screen. You have like a grappling hook, and you aim it with that little white dot, and it constantly comes up and kind of interferes with like your vision. So if you see it, that's what that is. It's not like a mouse cursor or anything like that. So here's our shackle hide Behemoth, and we'll highlight some of the combat here. We got close. Like in comparing the textures on the Behemoth, they look identical. I mean, like I said, feel free to pause any frame and have a look. I've checked it. They look exactly the same. Like you couldn't pause it right here now. I couldn't tell you which version is which. It's so close. A little bit of frame stuttering there. I apologize. But for the most part, like I said, even I was running some with the 2070 Super. It ran fairly smooth on PC, which I was very impressed by. I was lucky, I guess, that it ran as good as it did. I did run the meta version, not the Steam version, if that does make a difference for you guys out there. And we'll get to the end of this level here, the final battle, end of the Behemoth thing. I'm not going to show the end of the fight because I don't want to ruin any story here. And we'll showcase a bit of the second level just because it's totally different visually. It has a lot more vibrant textures, and it's just a warmer looking game, and I think it showcases the visual differences better than this first stage, which is snowy, blizzardy, very gray and blue. Here we go. Starting off in the cave. And I just think this kind of highlights the differences a little better. Not so much between the PC and PS, but especially in the Quest as well. There'll be a little bit of pop-in you'll see as well. Even on the PC side, I don't think they'll ever fix all the pop-in, but compared to what it was pre-Day 1 patch to now, it's been dramatically improved on the PSVR 2 side. I don't think the PCVR version has had a patch that I'm aware of. I think it was kind of like the most finished version of the game. But you can see, like I said, the texture quality on the bricks, the grass, everything, even the draw distance, it's all the same. You're not going to see too much at all, really, which is why I stopped the video pretty close to here. There's about 40 seconds left in this. So I'm going to end this with just saying thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about Behemoth in the comments below. If you like it or hate it, it seems to be a very divisive title. I seem to like it a bit more than Chris, but I do agree with Chris in some of its flaws. The combat can be a little bit funny at times, but it's a good game, and I think one definitely worth your attention, especially as they patch it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.